The Public Affairs Department plays a vital role at the intersection of business, government, and society. In this presentation, I'll examine how public affairs helps shape the environments in which organizations operate, build and manage relationships with important stakeholders, and protect organizational interests. These responsibilities have become increasingly important in a complex, interconnected world, where public expectations, policy decisions, and business outcomes are closely linked. Understanding this role gives us a clearer view of how organizations anticipate challenges, communicate effectively, and contribute to the broader environment around them. Public affairs is a strategic function that connects an organization with the world around it, that includes government, regulators, local communities, and the media. Its central focus is understanding and shaping the policy environment in which the organization operates. This may involve monitoring regulation, building constructive relationships, and participating in civic discussions. Public affairs is related to public relations, but the two are not identical. Public relations centers on reputation and media messaging, while public affairs addresses policy, regulation, and the organization's broader civic influence. Public affairs matters because it helps an organization engage with the forces shaping its operating environment. First, it provides a regulatory shield by identifying proposed legislation early and preparing an informed response before changes disrupt the business. It also strengthens stakeholder trust, showing governments, communities, and the public that the organization is listening and participating responsibly. Finally, public affairs creates a strategic advantage by helping shape constructive policy discussions before proposals become law. The goal is to anticipate change, build credibility, and contribute to a more favorable environment for the organization. The Public Affairs Department connects the organization with the audiences that shape its operating environment. First, government relations builds constructive engagement with legislators, regulators, and agencies at the local, state, and federal levels. Second, community relations strengthens goodwill through corporate social responsibility, local investment, and transparent communication. The third function is media and communications, which manages the organization's public narrative, coordinates consistent messaging across channels, and supports a response when a crisis occurs. Together, these functions help protect the organization's interests and maintain trust with key stakeholders. This slide outlines the 4 core roles within a public affairs team. At the top, the VP or Chief Public Affairs Officer sets the overall strategy, connects with the C-suite, and advocates for the function across the organization. The Government Affairs Manager focuses externally on legislation, lobbying coordination, and relationships with elected officials. The Community Relations Specialist builds trust locally through CSR programs, partnerships, and civic engagement. Finally, the Communications Director shapes the company's message, manages media relationships, and leads communications during a crisis. Together, these roles connect strategy, government, community, and reputation. Government relations is one of the most resource-intensive areas of public affairs because it depends on sustained engagement, not one-time conversations. Staff build long-term relationships across every level of government, helping ensure the organization has a voice when policies are developed or decisions are made. 2 core activities support this work: lobbying and coalition building. Lobbying involves direct advocacy with lawmakers on specific legislation. Coalition building expands its influence by bringing together industry groups and partners around shared priorities, creating a stronger, more collective voice. Community relations is about building trust beyond the organization itself. I see public affairs staff as the bridge between the business and the communities it affects, using philanthropy, volunteerism, and open dialogue to create meaningful connections. The central idea is social license to operate, the ongoing acceptance that allows a company to function without significant opposition. Corporate social responsibility programs make that commitment visible through efforts such as educational grants and environmental stewardship. Together, these practices demonstrate shared value and support long-term business success. The policy monitoring process turns external developments into practical decisions. It begins by scanning for proposed legislation and regulatory changes, then tracking how those proposals evolve. Next, Teams analyze the potential impact and risks for the business. They engage through lobbying, public comments, or coalition building, and finally report the implications to leadership while updating strategy. The key role of public affairs is to serve as an early warning system, translating complex policy changes into clear business intelligence so leaders can act proactively rather than simply reacting after decisions have already been made. When a crisis strikes, public affairs staff often become the organization's first responders. Whether the issue involves a product recall, an environmental incident, or a regulatory investigation, the response must be fast, coordinated, and credible. Preparation is the foundation of effective crisis communication. That means developing rapid response messaging frameworks before they are needed, coordinating closely with legal, HR, and executive leadership, and answering media questions with accuracy and transparency. At the same time, teams need to monitor social media sentiment in real time so they can identify concerns early and respond as the situation evolves. Public affairs plays a different, but equally important, role across business environments. In regulated industries such as energy, healthcare, and finance, teams help organizations navigate complex rules and ongoing compliance obligations. For multinational corporations, the challenge expands across borders, requiring an understanding of political systems, cultural expectations, and trade policies. Emerging companies face a different opportunity. They can help shape the rules governing disruptive sectors before established incumbents do. In that context, public affairs becomes a competitive weapon, not simply a compliance function. The key takeaway is that public affairs is a strategic business function, not a support role. Its value comes from diverse expertise, proactive engagement, and the ability to anticipate change. By managing relationships across government, communities, and media, these teams help shape outcomes and protect organizational value for stakeholders.